guys, Shady Games here today. Welcome back to my channel. We're back on another Sims 4 build challenge. So today I thought it'd be cool if we come in and decorate these apartments each in a different colour. So I have already come in and made our building just to speed things up a bit because I am known to yap. So I have made our building and then added some foliage outside, and then also come in and done like basic layouts, but I've not done any colours or anything. So these two downstairs are pretty much exactly the same. They are both one bedroom. Kind of a bit more on the bigger side, a bit larger. They also get the bigger front deck. Maybe these are more expensive. And upstairs we have two bedrooms, which are a little bit more cramped. They get a smaller outdoor space, so maybe these ones are a bit cheaper. So let's go over to the colour wheel and see what we're going to get for our first apartment. So on our colour wheel, I've added every colour that is filterable in The Sims. So let's see what we're going to get. And our first apartment is going to be, drumroll please, yellow, which is the worst colour in The Sims. Okay, this is going to be kind of hard. The yellow swatches in The Sims are trash, not gonna lie. So we'll filter by yellow and we're gonna keep it there. So let's get in our flooring and walls first, and then we will go from there. So I think in the bedrooms we're just gonna use this comfort carpet, or we could even come in with this plush one, but we have a couple of carpets for the bedrooms that I think could work, so I think we're safe there. And then again, for tiles, we could maybe do these ones in the bathroom. And then for our main room, we could maybe try and do this one from Paranormal and see how we can get that going. I think in our bathroom we're also gonna do those matching yellow tiles that match our flooring. In the living room we could come in full Paranormal and do this wallpaper, but I don't know if that clashes with the flooring. I think what I'm actually going to do is start with the furniture and then build the wallpaper after, depending on how we go, because I think this furniture is going to be a bit wild. So out on their deck here, I kind of want to give them some place they can sit, so maybe we could add like a little bench underneath that window. Maybe even this bench, since it's like slightly more yellow. We could also maybe give them like this little cat thing, so they could like turn this like deck into like a little catio. I've seen people do that before. And then I might give them this light here, just because I like to add a light to my deck to like light it up at night time. And then maybe they can have like this nice big pot of flowers like by their front door. And let's see what we can get for a rug. Maybe this one. I do like this one. I've been using this one quite a lot lately. We do have to bear in mind that this is like accessible to the flat upstairs, so we can't add like too much because somebody will need to pass through here and like to get to their apartment. Oh, we could maybe add in like a little hanging flower pot there. And then I might just give them like a second chair. It's like a little rocking chair. We'll pop it there that your sim will be able to get around, but maybe like they move that depending on like what they're doing. Okay, cool. So that is pretty much it for the deck. Let's go inside. So this is going to be our living and kitchen space. So I'm thinking the kitchen is going to go over here. So maybe let's put that in first and then we'll add decoration around it. For now, I think I'm just going to come in and add in maybe these lights just so we can see what's happening. And then for counters, we have a couple of options. We have these base game ones, which I do like, or we have these cottage ones. I might go with these base game ones though. I'm going to wrap it around here slightly. It does like create a weird thing here, but I think that's fine. And now we have kind of a direction for our kitchen. Let's see if we can figure out the flooring. Could just come in with like a basic yellow carpet and go from there, I guess. And then for walls, what should we do? We have like just a plain yellow swatch. I'm thinking maybe we could do a feature wall possibly, or maybe we could kind of come in and do this one in the kitchen, which is like a little bit of tile, and then we could do something else in like this area, which is going to be like our living entryway. Maybe in here we can kind of just do this very basic yellow one, and we'll see if we can get that to come together. And then I'm going to add in these for pillars just to kind of separate the kitchen a bit, and like it's not like a weird cut between wallpapers. So for our oven, I'm going to use this one from For Rent, and then I'm going to pop our fridge in this corner, I think, and I'm going to use a matching one. For the sink, I think I'm going to use this one from Base Game, and then we'll see if we can find a little bit of clutter. Okay, I've changed my mind. I've coming back into the wallpaper and having a look, and I found this one, and I think we're going to change direction and maybe go like a little bit retro in here, maybe like a little bit stylized. Maybe they get their stuff from thrift shops, so let's change the kitchen a bit to match that vibe. I might use these ones from Horse Ranch. They are coming up under yellow, so I think it's okay to use them, and they're like a little bit worn and they could kind of give that dated look. So let's swatch everything over to these. Yeah, okay, I think that looks a lot better. And then I might just keep the oven and the fridge with what we've got going on here. And then I don't know if I want to add the upper cabinets, just because I feel like, does it look weird against the wallpaper, because the wallpaper is so like bold? Maybe not actually. Maybe we can keep those. Let's try and give them a bin over here, and then maybe let's try and find a rug to go like in this space. I think since our floor is so like plain, it'd be cool to bring in a rug of some sort. I mean, I do feel like these ones would be cool, but I think the stitching is so big that I just never use them. It just looks weird to me. We do have these like cottage cottage living ones that might work in this space. We could add that one for now. And then I wonder if we can get something to go on this wall here. I think that's it for clutter. We don't have that much in here, and the kitchen isn't big, so I want to make sure I leave like loads of surface space so that the Sims can cook. So let's move on to this space here, which I think is going to be our living room. Again, for the sofa, I want something like a little bit dated. I mean, we could maybe come in with this swatch here. I think that we could get that to work, or we could come in with this one, which I do like. This is from Get Famous, and we could maybe pop like one here and then possibly one here. And then I'd like to get an accent table in this corner, but do we have anything that I think is going to match? I mean, we could come in with that one. I think we could maybe get that one to work, or even this one might be cool. And then on it we could just put like a little lamp. Yeah, maybe that one, or even like these candles. So since we don't have like too much room here, we're gonna like put like a small TV unit just like here, I think, and then we'll put like one of the smaller TVs on it. We could use that one for pets, or we could like just go for the same one that we've already done, because I think this space is kind of small, so if you mix like a lot of tones, it's not going to turn out great. Maybe not, because we don't have a TV, so we could maybe come in with this one from Tiny Living and like angle it in this direction. Yeah, I don't think that looks bad. And then I wonder if we could get like a tiny rug just to go in this space here. We could maybe do this egg one, which I kind of think matches this house. I think this house is like a little bit quirky, so maybe we could get that to work. Or we have this cow print one. I'm actually come in and just do this really fluffy one. If you're wondering, I did try it the other way, so I did try it with the TV unit on this side, and it looked weird. There wasn't really enough space for the sofa, so I think we have to go with it in this orientation, but I think that's fine. Maybe they use the TV to kind of break up the room a little bit and kind of add a division from the entryway and kind of like segregate the space and make it feel like separate rooms even though it's not. And then for curtains, we could come in with these, but are these like just ridiculously yellow? I mean, I know it's a yellow build, but I mean they do match the sofas, so maybe we could use those. And then I want to see if we can fit like a little table in this corner here. We could maybe use this cottage living one and then just add like 2 chairs around it or something, just to kind of give them somewhere where they can sit down and eat if they want to. And then we could add like this little bunch of flowers to it. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can find some just a couple of bits for that entryway. Okay, so I added in just a little bit. So in that entryway here we have like a plant, an umbrella stand, and then this console table, which I think would be additional storage with this like super cool retro phone. Just some clutter items. I switched out the flowers on the table for this one because I think it looks a lot better. I added in some aprons into the kitchen just so they can wear them while they are cooking. And then over in the living room, I added a piece of art to the wall, the video game console, and then just some puzzles and some board games that they could play of an evening, I guess. Okay, cool. So let's move on to our bathroom next. I'm just going to add in this light just for now, just so we can see, but I might end up changing that. So this bathroom isn't huge, so I think we'll do a toilet on this side and then the shower on the other. So for a toilet, I'm going to use this base game one. And then for a sink, we could maybe even use this vampires one because we are going for like a little bit of a vintage look, I guess. And then we could maybe do the matching mirror. And then on this side, I think we're going to do a bath with the shower over it, just because we don't have a room for it to be separate. And then we'll just add these base game curtains to this window here. And I'm just going to size it down so it fits slightly better. It's going to clip into the bath, but there is literally nothing we can do about that. The curtains clip all the time. But a bath mat, we could just kind of come in and use this very simple yellow one. And then maybe we'll add a piece of art above the toilet. There is one that's like this one, so maybe we could just add some flowers up there. And then I think we'll just see if we can find a little bit of clutter to kind of pull everything together. Okay, I think this is going to be our bathroom. I just added a tiny bit of clutter because the room isn't huge. I added a caddy into the shower there, a couple of dressing gowns, and then over here this cabinet on the wall where they can store all like their medicine and stuff, a picture, and then on the floor here we have our plunger with a pot of flowers and then the hairdryer that is just tossed on the floor. Okay, cool. Let's go into our bedroom. I think for the bedroom I'm going to choose the furniture first and then come back and add in like the wallpaper and flooring afterwards. So when I do yellow for a bedroom, I tend to do an artist room, and I use this one, and then a lot of times I use like this matching dresser. I'm going to try and not do that today, just to do something different and kind of mix it up a bit. If we're sticking with like the retro vibe, we could come in with this one from Get Famous and maybe pop it down here. And then for end tables, we could come in with these two from High School Years. And then we could maybe even do the same wardrobe over there. And maybe we could fit in a desk to give them a computer since they don't have one. I might just do this basic one from High School Years, I think. And then we can give them this computer. Let's give them the fancy one since it's available. And then for a chair, we could match it with this high school one. So maybe let's change the desk actually. I don't know if that 100% goes. What does this one look like from the Crystal Creations kit? And then I feel like we need a rug, but let's get a light in first so we can see. We can maybe do these ones. They are so bright. They are from the Desert Luxe kit, I believe that is. They are glowing. Or maybe we can just come in and do this one from High School Years. I would like to get some sort of big rug in here. I think it'll like try and pull the space together a little bit. We have this one, but I feel like it's a bit dark. Could maybe go with this one. It's coming up as yellow, so I feel like I can use it. I think that kind of ties in the old-fashionedness. I'm not sure this desk matches, so I'm going to swap this out. We could maybe go with this one from Horse Ranch, because it kind of looks a bit older. Let's see what we can do for the walls and see if we can get this room kind of looking cohesive. We could maybe do this base game one. It's a very like it's a nice shade of yellow. It's not too bright, and it's not too like washed out, I guess. And then do we go crazy and do something like this for the floor? Could even remove the rug then? Because I feel like that is definitely giving like dated. And then we maybe just need to, again, the desk is throwing it off, I think. I mean, out of everything in this room, shockingly, it's a desk that my brain is not gelling with. So maybe we'll do something else. Let's see what we've got for tables. Maybe we can do like a dining room table instead. What if we kind of went with something like that? It's got a brown top which kind of matches everything else, and it may bring it all together. On the bedside tables, I might do these lamps from High School Years. I think they kind of look a little bit dated, or they could be like a little bit retro. And then let's see what we can do for curtains. Maybe just do these ones from Eco Lifestyle, I think. Might just pop this rug, again, not the rug, this chair from High School Years, just under that window there. And let's see if we can find some cool art to go in here. Okay, cool. I think this is going to be our yellow bedroom. We have our office and like dressing area down here. I added the tapestry to the wall, some books and just some pens on the desk. And then we have our bed area over here with like a chair under the window and then a couple of pieces of art. And that is our yellow apartment. Now let's move on to this one and see what we're going to get for this one. So our next apartment is going to be... Ooh, I think it's just in the blue there. It is. Okay, cool. So what are we going to do for the blue? I think again we'll start from outside and work our way in. So let's filter by blue and let's see what we can get to go on the airport. I think I might do something similar. So maybe we'll do like a bench under the window. I kind of want to use different furniture and I kind of want to give each apartment like its own style. So like you can see like that the people who live there are like they're different to each other. They don't all have the same personality and they've kind of made it themselves, like their apartment themselves. So you can add a chair there and then we can add like a grill so they can come outside and they can cook. And then maybe we can give them a couple of planters. That might be cute so that they can grow their own flowers or their own vegetables, that kind of thing. We'll pop on like a little light onto the wall and then let's see what they can get for a rug. Could maybe go with this one just there. Yeah, okay. And then maybe we'll add like a plant or something. Let's see what we've got. I might add this like little cactus here. Maybe we could do like a little cluster of plants just out on their front deck. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, cool. Let's head inside. Okay, so I think again I'm going to start at the kitchen. We'll put in our furniture and then we'll figure out wallpaper after. We could use this one from Parenthood and maybe we can go like a little bit traditional, a little bit cozy in here. For an oven, I might just give them the same because I feel like it just matches. Or we could do this one from Parenthood. Should we do the matching oven then? This one I think it would be. And then what can we do for a sink? We're going to have to do a standing one because we don't have any that clip, but we do have this one and I think this should match, so let's get that swatch. Okay, cool. Let's see what we can get and we'll add like a little bit of clutter. Maybe we can give these like the popcorn maker and then a rice cooker, and then these can actually have a draining board, and then maybe we'll give them like a little condiment stack, and I think that's it just because we don't have too much space and I want to leave some for prep and stuff. I'm not going to be able to do any wall cabinets because we have these windows, but let's see if we can find some blinds. I think I might use these ones. I might end up swapping them, but I'm going to put them on for now. And then let's see if we can come in and do flooring. We could maybe do like this super dark wood floor, or we could go like a little bit lighter and do this one. I might try the dark one. And then what can we do for a wallpaper? There's quite a few, and I feel like there's quite a few different aesthetics and way that we could go with all of this. We do have this one, which is from Parenthood again. And it's just like this nice faded blue colour. And then maybe in the kitchen we could come in with this one and just like break up the space a little bit. That might work. Okay, let's move on to the living area, and I might come back to and revisit the kitchen in a minute. Let's just kind of see what we're going on with the living room first. I feel like there's so many directions that I could take with this that my brain is just bouncing from idea to idea and not like settling on any. We could come in with this base game sofa, maybe in this colour. Let's see if we can get some like nice curtains that kind of give it maybe a cozy feel. Maybe we could do these ones. I do like these ones. Okay, and what do we have for TVs this time? We have the ones we had before, and we also have this penguin one, so maybe we'll do the penguin one. I wonder if we can use this for rent table and kind of pop it on there. And then maybe let's give these an armchair. There are these ones which I think match the sofa we're going with, or we could do something different and kind of mix it up. We could go with this cottage living one, which I think is nice and looks comfy, which I think is the main thing. We could maybe even put this puffy here and they could like move it around the room to put their feet on. I might give these a lamp instead of an end table, you know, just to mix it up. I feel like they have the kitchen here, so they could maybe, you know, put their drink on the kitchen if they needed to. And let's see what we have for a rug. I don't honestly like any of the rugs. I feel like they're either too big or they're weird and like don't fit the space. I mean, we have this one. We could kind of, I just don't know if it matches. We could maybe go no rug, I feel like. Again, let's see if we can get a table to go here so they have a dining room and just a little one. We might have to go with the cottage living table again, and then we might do these pets chairs, which is what we did in the other room. So maybe we'll mix that one up and do these horse ranch chairs. And then I might put a condiment thing on top of the table there. I kind of feel like I want to give them a bookcase. So in the entryway, I might just add in this little bookcase here. And then let's see if we can clutter it up just a little bit. Okay, cool. So I added in a couple of bits. We have our entryway here where it's got some bags, a planter. Our living room, we've got some seating, a little pet bed, and the like knitting or cross-stitch kit. And then in our dining room, we have somewhere to eat. We have a bookshelf and then just a couple of bits on the wall. And then in the kitchen, I added this notice board where they could like pin their activities, the nectar making thing, a bin, and then just some clutter on the side there. So now let's go into our bathroom. Again, I think I'm going to add the furniture and then come back and add the tiles. So I'm going to use this base game toilet, and we're probably, maybe we could use this ranch sink. Does that match? Or we could use the for rent one. Is it a for rent matching toilet though? Well, there is this one. We could use this toilet that matches. And then I wonder what we've got for like a shower and a bath. Maybe do this base game one, or we could do this for rent one. Yeah, let's do that one. I mean, do these three pieces of items match? No. Let's see if we can pull them together though. Do we have any tiles that might look cool in here? What about these vampire ones? I mean, they do the vampire ones I feel like match the bath. The sink might be throwing it off. We might need to change that. You could come in with this one, which I think, again, I don't know if the tiles and the walls match, but they both match the bath. I think the sink needs to go. We could maybe just do these floor tiles. Yeah, I like that. What about if we did this sink? Yeah, it's kind of got those gold accents, which means we can change the toilet. Nothing wrong with this toilet, but I think if I was living here, I would like your more Western style toilet. Okay, cool. I'm going to use that one. And then let's get in a mirror. Maybe we'll use this one that's got like the cute little flowers on it. And then what should we put above the toilet here? We could maybe add in a picture. We could maybe just come in and add in this one. Or even this one, which is like a little bit more subtle. Okay, I added in a little bit. Just some robes and a toilet plunger and then a thing. And this light is not doing it for me. I feel like it's not very bright. So let's see if we can do something a little bit better. What about this one? This one is so big. It's from Horse Ranch. I like it. It's just the shade is so round. Okay, cool. Let's leave it like that. And then let's go on to our bedroom. So for our bed, we could maybe do this one from, again, Growing Together. And I wonder if we can find some matching things. No, I'm going to filter by Growing Together. They don't have end tables, but they do have like these dresses. So maybe we could add in a couple of those. And then I do love this mirror. So I'm going to pop it there for now and see if we can find somewhere for it to go. So in this corner, I was going to give them another computer desk, but then I found this piano and I think it's so cool that I kind of want to give them the piano instead. There is this like typewriter thing, or we could just give them like an iPad and they've got that as like their computer in here. Let's see what we can do for end tables that are gonna match everything. We have these cottage living ones. There are also these for rent ones, but I don't think these horse ranch ones, sorry, but I don't think they match. Could maybe come in with these ones from City Living. And I kind of feel like I want to change the bed. Not gonna lie, I don't think I think the bed is, and these dresses aren't what we're going for anymore. So let's see if we can do something a bit better. Ooh, what if we did this bed, which is like the Vincent van Gogh bed, which I love. And then we could do these horse ranch end tables because they're a bit shabby, which I think matches the bed. And then I wonder if we can get in a slightly different dresser. We could maybe pop this cottage living one, like here in the corner. We could add this cloud one, which I think is cool. And I think this room is a little bit eclectic, so I do think that kind of goes. We could move our mirror over here into that gap. And let's look for some curtains. We could go with these curtains from Eco Lifestyle and kind of have one big curtain across both windows. And then do we have any, oh, maybe we could do these on the end tables. Okay, so now we kind of have a vibe going. Let's see what we can find for wallpaper. I feel like paneling might be quite cool in here. We have used this one in the kitchen, so maybe like a different style. We have this one, or we could go with like this from Cats and Dogs. Yeah, let's maybe try this one. And then for a floor, what could we do? We could go with a carpet. We go with this flooring from Base Game, or there is like this Cats and Dogs one. Yeah, I might go with that. Let's see what we can find to go on this back wall. I feel like a nice big piece of art would look really cool. We can maybe go with like this. I mean, the colors are kind of dull, but I think it's like abstract. I think this room is very like eclectic, so I think it matches. And then can we get a bench to go under here again? Maybe we could just do this high school years one. And then I wonder what we have for a rug. I wonder if we can make a rug work in here. Okay, I've changed a couple of things. I just added in a couple of plants, and then I changed this back picture. The darkness of it was throwing me off, so I did do this one. And it's got like cherry blossoms, which match the piano. So I think that is going to be it for our blue bedroom and our blue apartments. Now let's go upstairs and see what we're going to get for our first upstairs apartment. And we are going to get, ooh, red. Okay, cool. Okay, so our upstairs apartments are the first of our apartments that are 2 bedrooms. So that could either be an office, maybe a second bedroom, maybe a nursery. So we'll figure that out as we get to it. So let's do our outside again. I feel like I would like to add another chair. Maybe we can go with like this nice big sofa up here, and then maybe like just add a plant either side. I do like these ones, but they're slightly big. I wonder if we size them down, if we can get them to work. They're very autumnal and I am here for it. Yeah, maybe we could do that. They clip, well, they don't clip, but they like branch around the columns, which I think is nice. I think it kind of looks like it's a bit overgrown, which I don't mind. And then I wonder what we can get for a rug for our front door. That is brown, I would say, so not that one. There aren't that many small red rugs that I think would match. We could go with this one again that we've already used though, but I don't like that. I might just not go with a rug up here. Let's do something different. Let's push it out and not do a rug, and then we'll have to just add this like little red lamp there. Okay, let's move on inside. So for our kitchen, I imagine this is going to be here, and it's going to be like a little galley kitchen. So let's do that first. If you're also wondering why the doors are brown and the windows, I'm not changing those because I feel like when you move into an apartment, those would already be there. So I'm saying like the fixtures and fittings are just what the like landlord has chosen, and you can't change those. Maybe let's go with this fridge from Jungle Adventure, and we can get in like the matching cooker. I'm gonna pop those 2 over there. I think the counters are Base Game, I forgot to say. And then we might just have to do this cottage living sink because we don't have another option. So should we change these to cottage living maybe? I feel like that though sets a direction for the build that we might not necessarily want to do, but I guess we should make it all match. I feel like it's forcing our hand, it's choosing a style for us, which I guess isn't too bad. I guess we're going to go a little bit cottagey in this one. Let's see what we can get for decorations and appliances. We could maybe give them a rice cooker. I love giving them rice cookers because I'm obsessed with rice. I love it. It's one of my favourite carbohydrates. I got a rice cooker for Christmas and I use it all the time. And then I'm going to give them the little cake stand above the sink because it's adorable. I wonder what we're going to have for curtains. I'm a little bit scared. If we're going cottagey, we could maybe go for these ones. They're cute. Okay, and then let's get a light in again so we can see. We could maybe do this one. That is cool. Maybe we can go like a little bit cottagey, a little bit artsy in here. Now, do you think we can find a rug that's going to match? Okay, I might try and do flooring, and let's see what we've got for like flooring and walls, and then we'll come back for like rugs and stuff. So we could just kind of go with red. I mean, we do have like a lot of just red, but let's see if we can get like a feature wall maybe. Ooh, there is this cottage living one, and I do quite like that. I think it's given maximalist, which I think could work in this build. And then maybe we'll go with like these really dark flooring. Yeah, I don't actually hate that. I actually quite like that. And then I might like add like a little wall lamp in between those there. And I wonder if we can get something to go here. The chalkboard would be good, but I don't think it comes in red. We could add in this little notice board. I did just have to size it down slightly to make it fit, but that could work there. And then let's get a little trash can in. Okay, cool. So let's figure out what we're going to do for our living room. We could maybe, I don't know, let's get a sofa and we'll figure it out from there. So there is a cottage living sofa. We might be able to use this as like a divider to break up the room. And then I don't think we're going to have a TV though, but we do have this one. It's going to have to cover that window, I guess. Or maybe we could angle it there. And then let's get our curtains in before we forget. We have these ones, but we have used those. We could maybe come in and do something crazy like these base game ones. I feel like they are giving a little bit dated and a little bit cottagey, which I think matches. Okay, I wonder if we can fit in like a little armchair over here. There is this horse ranch one, but the reds don't match, so I'm not a fan. We could do this cottage living one. I might do this rocking chair, and then I kind of want to use this, but I don't know if it matches, you know. I don't know if it's throwing it off. Maybe we'll just pop that there and get in a lamp to go next to it. We could maybe do this lamp, that is cool. And I think it kind of does match the build. Okay, let's see what we could do for a dining table. We could use this cottage living one because the print kind of matches the walls. And for chairs, we could just maybe do these cottage living ones. And then let's get a bunch of flowers to go on it, as always. And then I wonder if we can get like a nice big piece of art here. Maybe like a landscape or something. There is this elephant one which is quite cool. Let's get a light in as well so we can actually see. Do we do the same light that we've done over there, or do we do something else? Well, our choices aren't that great. We could maybe do this one instead, and we could pop it like, no, I'm gonna do the same. Let's not make this too crazy. And then maybe we could put some wall sconces either side of our picture here. We could come in and do these ones because we've done those in the kitchen. Okay, I wonder what else we can get. Let's see if we can get a little bit more decoration. I found this phone box here and I think it'd be so funny to add it in, but it's just too big. And I just don't think it's going to go in anywhere, but that would be really cool. Okay, cool. So I think this is going to be it for our living room. I just added in a few plants around, a couple of pictures. I moved the bin just so there's like a bit of a better space to get through, and I quite like it. It's giving like coziness. I feel like it'd be really nice to be in here. So next we are going to go on to this room. I think we should kind of stick with the same styles. Maybe we could come in with these cats and dog bed and like pop one over here. And I'm going to get in a light really quick just so we can see. Maybe this high school years chandelier. Oh, I think these ones match actually. This is from high school years. Yeah, I think this matches the style of our room a little bit better. And then let's see what we've got for dresses to see if we can fit a dresser and a bedside table, or if we just get the one. These trunks might be quite cool. I think they kind of match the theme of the room. I feel like this is kind of given, do you know, in like fantasy movies where you have like a fortune teller and she has like a traveling wagon, and I think this is definitely giving me those vibes. I don't know why. I think it might be the colors. I wonder if we can give them some activities, maybe like a guitar or something would be cool. We can maybe give them a couple. I really love this one from Werewolves. I think that's sick. Look at it. It's like a devil or something. Okay, let's also figure out what we're going to do for flooring. We could maybe do this square flooring, or we could continue what we've got going on in the living room. Like, we could do this red, but I feel like the texture on it looks weird. We could maybe just do carpet. And then I wonder what we've got for wallpaper. I feel like we don't need anything like too crazy because the room is so small that it just overpowers it. We can maybe just come in with like a really dark red, or even like a panel in. Yeah, let's do a panel. Is this throwing it off? Do we need a different end table? Maybe like this one from Cottage Living fits a bit better. And then I wonder if we can add something to the walls just to kind of bring it all together a little bit. We could add this moon phases picture. I've just sized it up slightly to fit the space a little bit better, and then we could add like a little dying out plant in the corner. Okay, and I think that is going to be our single bedroom. So now let's move on to our main bedroom. I might try and use this pet's bed. It's got like this nice poster bed. I do like that. But then why is there no matching end tables? We might just have to go with, maybe do these ones actually from City Living. I think we could make this work. And then do we have a dresser though? Don't, but this vampires one might fit. And then I wonder if we could use this flooring in here and make that work. And then possibly go with something like a little bit bolder for the walls. Maybe do this paneling actually. The bold like prints weren't looking great, and I think it's because the room is so small. I'm gonna move the bed over here just so there's like a little bit more space when you walk in. Let's get in a light so we can actually see what is happening. And do we have something else? Maybe we could use like this chandelier. This will go like slightly gothic in here. I wonder if this paranormal bedside table will fit better in this room. And then we could maybe find some art to go on the wall. Maybe do this portrait of this lady over here and then get this little plant to sit next to it. Let's go on to curtains. I feel like some really dramatic ones would suit this build. We could maybe go with these ones. And you have like these balconies that are like open. So imagine them like standing there and having like a Romeo and Juliet moment, or dramatic. Let's add a mirror in the corner, and then maybe we'll add like a little stool as well, and then we'll just add a little lamp on here. I think that's gonna be it for our red bedroom. I can't really add any more stuff to the walls because I don't know, I feel like it looks weird because of the paneling, and I don't want to add a rug because I feel like the floor speaks for itself. So that is going to be our red bedroom, and now let's move on to our bathroom. So I feel like this bathroom is a funky shape, so maybe we'll get our bath and shower down there. Our toilet can sit like here, and then we'll have counters along the side. Should we go with like this this realm of magic toilet? That's funky, but we don't have anything to like back it up. Maybe we'll just go with these plain counters here. I forgot we don't have a matching sink, so we're gonna have to do a standing sink. So maybe we'll do this vampires one, and we might do the vampires bath as well because it's kind of oldie timey in here, so it kind of matches a bit better, I think. And we'll do the matching mirror. So let's see what we can do for floor tiles. We could do these ones from vampires, or these square ones. Maybe these square ones suit it a little bit better. And then let's see what we've got for wall tiles. Ooh, I like those. They are very dark. Let's try those out. I'm gonna add a light above the sink there, and then we'll add a main light too, just because sometimes it's really dark. Maybe we'll do this vampire chandelier again, and then let's see what we can get just for a little bit of clutter in here. The space isn't huge, so I don't think we can add too much, but we might be able to add some. Okay, I added in some curtains and a dressing gown there. We have a bit of art and then just like a little plant there. And that is it for our red apartment. Now let's move on to our final one and see what we're going to get. So for our final apartment, we have, not going to lie, I kind of hope it's green. Green is my favourite colour. Ooh, we are going to get grey. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I feel like grey is just very neutral, isn't it? There's like a lot of things you can do with grey. Maybe we'll try and go very modern because we haven't done like a super modern one yet. So let's try that. We could maybe like, try to think of what chair would fit the modern theme. Maybe we could go something like this. And again, I think we'll back it up and pop them like along here. I feel like I could definitely see these in like B&M or something, and somebody in their new build. No shade against new builds, but you know the people I'm talking about have added these to their garden and their whole garden is just grey furniture. Do we have a light that is going to match though? We could maybe add this one to the outdoor, and then maybe we'll do the same as like next door and we'll put some plants. I want a specific plant though, maybe these. Yeah, like very maintained, very like manicured, nothing too crazy, very uniform. And then what do we have we could put for a rug outside? Maybe this one. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm going to do that. I might not even do rug. I might just keep it very sleek out here, and then let's go into our apartment. I think we'll do the same thing, and we'll do like a kitchen in this corner. We could maybe do these base game counters. I mean, this is coming up as great. I don't think that's great, and this is coming up as great. That's white, so I'm not going to use those. I'm going to try, and although these things are coming up, I'm going to try and stick to the color scheme still. And then for a fridge, I feel like we need something fancy. We could maybe just do this base game one, very basic, and then we'll do maybe this base game oven too. I'm going to get in a light again just so we can see, and we could maybe do these ones from City Living for now. Those might change. Maybe we could even just do like a couple of spotlights in the kitchen, because I've definitely seen that in houses before. So in this one, since we don't have any windows, we can actually come in and pop in some wall counters. I'm going to change these actually because that's what looks brown to me. This looks a little bit grayer. And then for a sink, I'm going to do this Snowy Escape one, and then I might give them like a really fancy coffee machine and like a tiny amount of clutter. I don't think they'd have a lot, like literally maybe just a drainer, and that is it. For a bin, we could come in and do this Snowy Escape one. And then let's do flooring. I don't think we're going to have any issue with flooring in here, if I'm honest. I think we're just going to go with a very wood, like maybe even this one. It's like off-white, so I'm going to say this is grey. And then for the walls, I kind of just want them to do a flat grey, like maybe this. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's see what we can do for a sofa. Oh, I do like that, but that's not grey. That's cream, and that's not modern. We have this one, which I think could be a little bit modern. We have these Snowy Escape ones, which which I think are cool, but I don't think they're very modern, so I don't think we're going to do those. I mean, maybe even this one, but I think that's white. I don't think that really counts as grey. It's very slightly grey maybe, but I don't think it's grey enough. Okay, I think we'll do these. And then we can maybe do like one there and then one here. I feel like a corner sofa would have been perfect. I just don't have one. If you have a pack that has a corner sofa, let me know what pack it is and I might invest in it. I feel like I'm not going to give them an end table. Instead, I'm just going to give them a lamp. Maybe this base game one or even this one. Yeah, let's do this one. And surely they can have a TV. I feel like this is the only one that gets a decent TV. I might use that one as like a little TV table, and then we'll give them one of these smaller ones because it's the only one that's probably going to fit. And then over here, let's see what we can do for a dining room table. I don't honestly have that many modern ones. You could maybe use this glass one. And then what chairs would go with it? Maybe just these base game ones. And I might give them 4. I might make their like, or even 3. I don't know if they're going to be able to get in if I keep that one. And then on top of it, I just want to add like a big bunch of flowers. So I think we'll add those ones. Okay, let's do curtains. And maybe again, we'll use these ones from Eco Lifestyle, and kind of on that side have them taking up the whole wall, and then over on that side they can have like individual ones. And do we remove that? Does it look weird only having a chair on one end? Maybe we can add in some flowers. I might actually swap these flowers out for these. Yes. And then I want something sleek to go in the corner. I mean, we don't have much that's just in a plain pot. Oh, we can maybe do these base game ones. They're so fluffy though, like they clip into the curtains loads. Let's see if we can get like a really skinny bookcase or something to go here. Maybe do that one from high school years. And then I really wish we had like a nice statue that could go there instead of the plants. We don't. I mean, we have this one, but she's just not big enough. And then all the ones that are taller are like the vampire ones, and they're just not really the theme we're going for. Okay, I wonder if we can get in a rug. Maybe we can get in like a fluffy rug to go over here. And then what can we get to go in our living room? Ooh, maybe this one would be cool. Like tuck it under so it kind of looks like it's coming out from under the sofa. Yes. And then can we get a big piece of art to go behind here? We can maybe like size these down and pop them up there. Okay, cool. And then I think we need a light for over here. I wonder if we can get a chandelier type one. We could maybe just do this base game one, I think. Okay, cool. It's very plain, but that's the aesthetic I'm going for in there. So let's move on. So for the beds, I might come in with these high school years ones. I might do this as a twin, and then we can put like an end table between them. I'm trying to find the high school years one. Where is that? This one. And then we'll pop a light on top of it. Okay, cool. Let's see what we can do for wallpaper. We can maybe do this wallpaper from high school. And then again, I might just do these floors all throughout, you know. Yeah, let's do that. Not in the bedroom, in the bathroom. Let's do something else there. And then let's get in like a main light. Maybe do this one from high school years. It's just like a very plain shade. And then I kind of want to put something on this back wall. Maybe some shelves. Okay, so I added like just a couple of bits. A couple of minimalist statues, like they don't even have faces. Some plants, curtains, and then a couple of pieces of artwork. I wish we had like wall hangers so that we could pop these up on the wall, but we don't have that, so they don't get a dresser. But I mean, maybe they've got something under their bed or something. But yeah, that is our bedroom. So let's go on to let's do our master bedroom next. And then for our master bedroom, I might just do like a super dark grey wallpaper. And then I think the only option for bedding and stuff is the high school years one. I think that matches this build perfectly. Okay, so high school years doesn't have a swatch. So we can maybe do this one, which is from, I think it's from Snowy Escape. It is. And let's see if we can, because I wanted to use the high school years. Where is it? I don't even know if the wardrobe. No, we don't even have this wardrobe, because I think that's super modern and it matches. But do we? I don't think we can have a bed that matches that now. We can maybe do this one, which is the black version of it, and we can maybe do like black and white in here. We're going to have to pop the bed in this corner again because it's the only space where it's going to fit. And then maybe for an end table, we can use this like marble effect one. For a light on it, I might use this just because I feel like it's a little bit different and they might like that. Or we could go with something that's just like very modern, like this. Let's get a mirror so that they can check themselves out. And then I'm just going to pop a little plant next to it. Let's see what we can get for art to go on this wall. There are different versions of what we just put in the living room, but maybe we should do this one actually. We make it like a slightly smaller and then raise it directly above the bed. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Let's do curtains, and probably we're going to do the same ones we've done everywhere else because we know they're going to fit. And then I might get like a little seat to go in this corner. So what do we have? We have this one from Snowy Escape, and then I wonder if we can like squeeze a little lamp into maybe this one from Foren. If we'll just do a little plant as well to finish off that little corner. Okay, cool. Does it need a rug? I'm honestly not sure. Maybe a one more picture over there. We could do the ship captain, but I don't think that's very modern, so maybe not. We can maybe do this one, which is from For Rent, and it's just like a cityscape. Okay, cool. And I'm going to leave that here. I'm not going to add it in a rug. It's very minimal, which is what I wanted, and kind of modern. So now let's go to the bathroom. I think we're going to have to do the same layout as the bathroom next door, just because the space is very limited. So maybe we'll do this Snowy Escape toilet, or we can even do this Basegate one. Actually, that's kind of modern. And then for a bath, we can also do this Seasons one. And then for counters, I wonder if we can use these For Rent ones and get those to work. I'm pretty sure we'll have a sink. Yes, we do. Again, let's use this Snowy Escape one. And then for a mirror above it, we could use this one, or we could use this High School Years one, or maybe even this really big, yeah, let's use this really big Seasons one. For a light, I think I'm just going to use this base game one, and then let's go onto flooring and see what we can find. We could maybe just use this tile, but I think the texture is weird on these tiles sometimes. I think they're too shiny. We also have this base game tile, and then for our walls, I might kind of just do this, which is like a very slightly like worn plastered look from Jungle Adventure. What if we did this flooring from For Rent and kind of had it as like a pop of colour? I think that will go. And I'm going to change this mirror because I feel like that one was blue. This is a bit more grey. And then let's see if we can find a little bit of clutter. Okay, cool. So I added in a light above the mirror, a towel, and just some like perfumes onto the side. And then over here we have another big piece of art, a plant, and then a couple of dresses or dressing gowns, and then just some bathroom clutter over there. And I think that is it, and that is our final build. You'll have to let me know, guys, which colour do you think is the best? I'm not sure. I honestly, the yellow is kind of growing on me, but I also did like the red. But let me know what you guys think. We also have a lot of colours that we didn't do, so if you want me to do it again with some of the other colours, feel free to comment below and I shall do that. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!